Y'all, I can't even. I just got. Have y'all ever got off alive? Like, whew, I just feel like Mama T took me to church. MAHMAHTEA. Mama T. Whew. Like, let's get into physical world update. Me and my husband, he's agreed to allow me to coach him for an hour a day, which means for an hour a day, he has to speak my language. I took off the pressure. These are for you who are not being met at your love language. So our unhappiness in our relationships is simply because our spouses, no matter how nice they are, will not allow us to express our love and our love language, probably because our love language makes them uncomfortable if we're equally yoked. It happens both ways. But from the equally yoked perspective, your love language is supposed to make your spouse, your soulmate, uncomfortable because that's their weakness. We're linked into each other, which means I grow you where you're weak, you grow me where I'm weak, or spaces that need development. Don't get caught up on the language. I'm filtering out how I've spoken my whole life. But we are unhappy in our relationship, equally yoked or not, because our spouses are not allowing us to express our love language. Not you give me love in my love language, but my ability to express my love language is why I was unhappy. And so before I was unhappy because he was an asshole. We got through that. Now I'm unhappy because I can't love him the way that I want to love him. And so we were in therapy. Everything's posted on YouTube as the apple turns. Trying to wet my whistle. We were in therapy and we had a terrible, terrible therapist. It's all on YouTube. But Spirit said, keep going. I was like, well, shoot, maybe I'm here to help him because he sure as hell ain't here to help me. You know, Dre kept saying, are you getting any, we need to keep going. Because I was like, I don't need therapy, you do. Which is something I shouldn't have said because that automatically put, I don't need therapy either in his head, right? I should be like, baby, I need therapy. Oh my God, it's helping me so much. These kids done distracted me. I made a point somewhere in there. Yes, we were in therapy and it wasn't helping, but Spirit said, keep going. Well, somewhere in between going to therapy and not, and Dre dropping the bomb on the therapist, she said she got to teach you how to help us. I was like, why are you gonna tell this professionally trained man that this chick can do his job? He don't need to know that. It's relevant. No, it's not. It's not relevant. This man doesn't need to take that dagger to the heart. He already knows I done outfoxed him a million different ways. And it's not about outfoxing him, it's just the advice that he's given is antiquated, out of touch, and you are not talking to me and my husband. You just talking to some clients. Nigga, you helping us or you just helping? Like, who the fuck you helping? Have you listened to anything we said? Because you keep attaching to physical world things when we got real shit we're dealing with. So he was pissing me off. So anyway, therapy helped Dre open up to the idea of talking. Maybe Dre got to see me like, I'm shutting this professional up. This motherfucker who went to school to do what I told you I came to this earth to do, I'm shutting that nigga up. See who the fuck I am. He needs to know who he's married to. Anyway, we failed therapy. I was like, and I told Dre, I was like, Spirit told me, whatever seeds we're putting in the ground, if we're not putting any seeds in the ground today to stay married, we're not going to be married in the future. Even if we're physically together, because I was willing to stay together. I don't have any problems with him. I'm not getting what I need. I can't love him the way that I want to love him, and I don't want to love him the way that he wants to be loved. I can't get what I want, but you want what you want, especially when what you want is my body. Yeah. It's all shut down. I'm not. You really want me to lay up underneath you like this? Y'all really be humping on y'all spouses like that. You should get some something. I don't know how low of love of self that you are willing to stick your, I shouldn't have said that word, but stick your thing into a human being. Not at all. I expect a doll to be. But you stick your thing in a human being, And you're okay with it. It's crazy. I know because I've experienced it. I've cried under a man and he got his rocks off. My husband doesn't want to have sex unless I do. He doesn't have to go somewhere else, sis. If your relationship connection to your forever is so weak that you don't defy yourself to please him, he goes somewhere else, it's not your spouse, male or female, but I'm talking to my peers. It's funny this song is playing in the background. It's my shit too. Love's going to change. Love don't change. Even when it hurts, love don't change. You understand? I don't know how to love, but whatever I do know how to do has me still here. Until I figure out how to love, I'ma stay for circumstances, I'ma stay for these kids, I'ma stay for whatever the fuck I gotta figure out a reason why to stay until I can figure out how to love, because I know this is my husband. I know it. I've never had what I've had with this man. I love my children so deeply because they are a product of this man. I now love all my children evenly. But the way that I love the seeds that came from him, light years different than the way that I love my children that were conceived with random men I was fucking at the time. I don't care how long you were with that man. I was with Bailey's father for 5 years, or 3. I think I've had 2 relationships before Dre. One was 5, one was 3. I always mix them up, doesn't matter. I was with that man for enough time to believe that we belong together. Angel's dad I was only with for 3 weeks, so that was on me. That was on me. It's hot in the pants. But that in itself was divinity. He was too short. He was African. He had an accent. All the biases that I carried, y'all receive that however you want to. But when it comes to who I want to allow to enter my body, I get to be as picky as I want to, and I don't get to be ashamed because I'm like, oh, I don't like light-skinned men. Oh, I don't. If I have to decide where I'm gonna stick my or allowed to penetrate me, I get to say whether I want it to be dark skin or light skin, right? I'm throwing chocolatey ass with myself. But anyway, her father, unemployed, only dated white women. Like, we did not belong together, but we were meant to come together to birth that child. That child is magical. Her dad's abilities and my abilities, that child is magical. I can't wait to see what she does when she taps into hers. But put me moments on the radio. Oh yeah, relationship update with my last minute. He's allowed me to coach him, and I'm hopeful. So Adoy and Angel are working on their relationship. They're getting really good at being able to be in the same room and have conversations. Adoy's still a little barky, and Angel's still a little and snappy, but they're figuring it out. The energy shifting, and that Caden is somebody come get this kid. He told me he don't have to get out of my room until he's ready today. And we gonna end the story right there. But, we've been working on his speech, so we have his flashcards, and Spirit told me how I had to teach him how to read. That's how I was gonna teach him how to speak, because if I tell him that's a C, he knows to make the C sound. So when he sees the word, he can read the sound. So I need to teach him how to read. So if you have a child that is having experiences with speech, teach them how to read if you haven't already. It could be beyond that, but I know that's a solution that I have found for my child. So I'm not putting him in speech therapy. Well, his appointment isn't until August, and Spirit just dropped in. That's why the appointment wasn't until August, because I had to see that I can fix his speech. They're not gonna fix it because he needs to know how to read.